Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in on this episode of Hitting the Ropes podcast. On today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the upcoming Wrestlemania card and it being in dire jeopardy. Matches are changing, performers aren't able to make the show. What does this all mean for WWE and their biggest show of the year? We also talk about how other promotions are being affected by the coronavirus or the pandemic as it is labeled now. We'll have all that and a lot more on tonight's episode of Hitting the Ropes podcast.
What? You just made the list.
Brett screwed Brett.
That I will never retire. It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. Into the public.
Welcome to Hitting the Ropes. Your hosts, Alex McCarthy, Matt Caligori, and Colin Kirshner.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready?
Tiger King, dude. What is it? Is it like some guy who's like you can't like spoil it because it's probably like one of those weird things that like you give one hint.
You haven't seen any of it, right?
No, I don't even know what it's about. I looked at the trailer and I was like, it looks
But
cool.
the trailer just doesn't do it justice. It's the most wild fucking thing you could ever imagine. And every scene, every episode, it just gets more crazy than whatever you watched before. And it's mind.
The main guy looks like if you went into Create a Wrestler on WWE 2K and you hit randomize and he came about. Like, that's what he looks like.
So yeah, I looked at the trailer for was Tiger King. That's the name of it?
Yeah.
And then it's like all these memes are popping up that I have no context to it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like,
how many episodes did you get in, Matt?
I finished it today.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I'm out of loop.
Yeah, you got to finish it because we have to talk about it.
We'll have one podcast where we don't even talk about wrestling.
Jim, what's his name? Sam Roberts did a 20-something minute YouTube video on the deep dive of Joe Exotica. Or Joe Exotic. Everybody
Joe Exotic. No,
Exotica.
Jim Norton keeps calling him Exotica.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the guy's name?
Joe Exotic. It's actually Joe. I can't even. It's Joseph.
It's his wrestling
Vogel.
Creator God.
Hyphen passage hyphen. What was the other one? Maldonado.
Yeah,
AKA Joe Exotic.
I guarantee you this guy is already on WWE's Community Creations. Like, guarantee it.
It's fucking insane. How these guys in the middle of Oklahoma, they have as much money as they did. Millions upon millions just with tigers and cubs and fucking orangutans and gorillas and lions. I wish I had millions of dollars. That guy bumfuck Oklahoma had. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my god, I'm just picturing him on the Community Creations like Joe Exotica with a fucking Bullet Club shirt.
No, he looks like he's like, you just gotta see him, dude. Just start watching the first episode and you'll be like, I can make this guy in WWE 2K so bad.
I got a COVID cough.
I get it. Well, I saw like the trailer and like the memes so far for it. Every time I see this guy, I'm like, no, there's no fucking way this is
Did you
real.
see the one where it says Undertaker is the OG Tiger King? And it was the picture that AJ put up with Mark and Michelle with the tiger at the pool.
I'm challenging him to a boneyard match.
Like Joe learned everything he has now from Mark.
Joe Calloway.
And Death Valley's got a whole sanctuary over there.
Dead man walking. Well, I mean, we were gonna see the Undertaker live in person against AJ Styles. And, well, in lieu of recent world events, I mean, we can say coronavirus. It's not like we're going to get demonetized on YouTube or anything like that. We don't make money doing this.
Coronavirus, COVID-19, Chinese virus, whatever.
China.
China. It comes from China. Did you see the one where he goes, Oh my god, I lost it. I lost it. Where they put the filter on Pence and Donald with the eyes. It was like China.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
super
I
racist.
I saw one on fucking TikTok last night where someone put the Keith Ledger's Joker face on Donald Trump, like a filter, and he's like, "The world's a scary place." Like saying all this shit, and the captions like, "The incels are about to run the zoo," and all this shit.
They had one with the Joker, but he's in the when he blows up the hospital and he's in the nurse outfit. But first he does the hand sanitizer before he walks out.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
honestly, it's a fucking just wild time to be alive right now.
And dude, the wildest part about it is, I mean, in the wrestling aspect, I'm talking about, of course, how long it took them to fucking make this decision on Mania. Because obviously we had tickets. I'm bummed out about missing WrestleMania, but especially not only that, it's like hanging out with my buddies, going on a vacation. I haven't taken a proper vacation in 2 years. So it's like going on vacation with my buddies, going to another state, going to another part of the country, NXT TakeOver, the Airbnb, the pub crawl, all this shit. And it's like we were on hold with that shit for at least 2 weeks of not knowing what's going to go on. And
before you joined, Matt, we were saying, me and Alex were saying when I pulled into the gas station, oh, like bro, Thursday, or you would have left Wednesday, right, Alex?
I was gonna leave Wednesday night and just drive to Philly that night, yeah.
And then Thursday, I would have flown into Tampa. It's crazy.
A $12 JetBlue.
Yeah,
Dude,
just my taxes.
Everything I've had planned in 2020 has just been canceled. I was supposed to go to Disney. They closed Disney over the weekend. I was supposed to go the Monday that they closed it. I was supposed to go to WrestleMania, Mets game, and against the Atlanta Braves here in Northport, Florida. And then WrestleMania TakeOver, obviously, that whole weekend. And then I was supposed to go to Italy in April. And I got pushed to... That was the first thing to go. That was the first thing that got cannexed.
You might have dodged a bullet with that one.
Yeah, cancel culture treated you well with that
I was supposed to fly in to Milan too.
Those Tuscan sun-dried tomatoes ain't worth it, dude. I'll tell you that much. you would have been coming back in a body bag. I remember you were telling me about Italy, and then all this stuff that are popping up about Italy, and I was like, I'm sure Matt's not too bummed about that.
We're in the group chat, and we're like, it's not looking too good for you, buddy.
Dude, the thing is, Matt had more as far as like, I had tickets to Mania with you guys and all that for the vacation, and then it was like my birthday's in a couple weeks, so that's obviously out of the fucking picture. And then it was like AEW, so I'm like, okay, like at least it's not too much. But then you were telling me about Italy, Disney, all this shit. And I was like, dude, like I can't imagine how pissed off you are about all this shit.
Yeah,
dude, it's the worst.
But going back to Mania, it's like, dude, like we were waiting for what, like at least 2 weeks to get the word, because we have obviously money invested in tickets and everything else, planning and travel. But it was weird because I knew it was going to get I thought it was just going to get canceled or postponed. I was like, there's no way they're going to do an empty arena show. There's no fucking way they would do that for WrestleMania. And then it was, Trump puts in the travel ban for all countries. He's like, no one's coming in. No one, you can only come in if you're trying to get back home or you're leaving to go back to your country, whatever. And at that point, it's like they would have lost a shitload of money in revenue for not only the city of Tampa, but just, obviously WWE itself. And then once that happened, I was like, it's just going to get postponed. Everyone's saying postponed till July, whatever. What is this pop?
Bro, I am dead. That was fucking amazing.
How did you do that?
Yeah, that was wild. I'm on my phone and I'm like, bro, Joe Exotic is fucking staring at me.
For everyone listening, apparently there's a wrestler named Barry Hardy who looks just like the Tiger King.
The Tiger King himself.
I'm like talking in deep thought, looking at my ceiling. All of a sudden I hear I was like, what the fuck is that?
It is the exact same style hair.
That's the handlebar, the dyed platinum
the
blonde.
mustache. Yeah.
This woman's obsessed with me.
Oh, my God. That was well needed. Can somebody call into Oklahoma federal prison and get Joe Exotic on the line?
Oh, don't spoil it. I don't want to know if he's in prison or not.
Dude, how does he sing so well, but then he talks like this?
The one song where it's just gonna give you imagine a guy and everything, music videos are all slow-mo. He's just standing on a car with a guitar and he's like, I saw a tiger And the Tiger Soul, man. And like he goes, it's from one of my albums. It's got 28 songs, 16 music videos.
It's a double LP. I love how this episode is just, we got a virus taking over the world, and now we got the love child of Dog the Bounty Hunter and Bear Grylls just fucking taking over a podcast. But yeah, dude, like, what did you guys think? Did you guys think it was going to get pushed back? I thought it was going to be, I was like, my thought was, yo, they'll push that shit back till June or July, and then they'll have SummerSlam as the follow-up, so they'll be making all their money back. Because I was like, there's no way they're going to host an empty arena show, but here we fucking are, you know?
I really thought that it was going to get postponed.
Yeah, especially with all the money invested with ticket holders and shit, you know?
I'm still hoping it gets postponed, just like all the
I know,
all
man.
the
But
updates that we're getting on Twitter and
they already initiated the refunds apparently, so it's going to take about 30 days to get those, and that was like about a week ago they started doing that. So if they do get postponed and they want to hold it somewhere else, and I guess everybody would have to buy tickets again, which I have no doubt that they would have no problem selling, but it just sucks because, like, you know, it would have been the perfect weekend for us, and I know it wasn't just, you know, us, it was everyone around the world that would have been coming.
Upwards of 80,000 plus people.
Yeah. I mean, think about,
and
like,
that's just for WrestleMania. Think about people who aren't going to WrestleMania, people who are the independent wrestlers who are going, and they had all these promotions set up, and now they had to cancel, and those guys aren't getting paid. And
yeah, I follow a lot of indie people on Twitter, or they come up just from other people I follow. You know, it does that so you get more content on your timeline. And what's the one GCW?
Yeah, Joey Janela's Spring Break 4.
They all had promotions and events, and all in Tampa. Like, Tampa's not crazy big, but it would have been like our own little community.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, that's the thing is every Mania you got GCW, you got Ring of Honor always does a show there. They always do a big show, and that was the thing about the Ring of Honor show, because Marty Scurll's taking over their booking, and he's actually fucking doing a really good job. It was Ring of Honor and New Japan doing a show in Tampa. Like it was
sick.
Yeah, so like you got to think about that's what I feel bad for the most out of all this. Like, yeah, it sucks for fans like us, obviously, but out of all the people I feel bad for the most in this situation when it comes to Mania and the Corona stuff, it's the independent guys, because they're not AEW and WWE guys, and obviously Ring of Honor. They're under contract, they have guaranteed pay, they're fine. But it's these indie guys where it's like, you know, it's like a punk band. You want to get paid, you got to play. You're not under a contract. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
and what are they gonna do for money? I mean, it speaks volumes to so many people around the world, right? They said 3.2 million filed for unemployment today. It's like a very real fucking thing that the world is going through.
And that doesn't include me, who has been unemployed since November. So, like, I did not file for unemployment.
I think they were saying, it's funny, I was talking to like a few of my bosses who were like in their 50s and 60s, and I was asking them, I was like, well, you guys have the gas crisis. Like, I'm sure you've seen stuff like this happen before. And they're like, dude, like, none of this shit's ever happened in our lifetime, at least. Like, this is like
too, like, for me down in Florida, it's significantly different than what you guys are experiencing in the Northeast.
Well, how so?
Like, I mean, for a while, everything was still open here, and they just started closing everything, like non-essential businesses. But from what I hear about New York, it's like extremely bad. And here, Miami's getting hit a little hard right now, and Tampa has a couple cases, but nowhere near what you guys are experiencing in Connecticut or New York. And it's just like, is it just going to take time for it to happen here like that? Or is it going to take time to happen like that in every part of the United States? Who knows?
I think it's gonna be pockets. You know, especially in New York, like the city, the 5 boroughs, it has the most concentrated amount of people in such a small, if you look at it, small area, and they're all going out. Everybody travels. You know, everybody goes to Westchester County. I'm up in Dutchess County, and people still come up here because you could catch a train where I am. It's still the same as if I was taking it from where we were in Long Island. Matt, it's only an hour into the city, so the pockets are just spreading and spreading and spreading. And it's getting really bad. I could see it being like, we were talking last night, me and a couple of buddies. We were like, when is the looting and the raiding going to start? Because I go to the grocery store now, and you still can't find anything. Next year,
that's what I mean. It's so different. Like I just went
to
Walmart with my dad this morning, and we were able to get a lot of stuff. Able to get milk, eggs, meat was available.
Dude, you're lucky. What they're doing in Connecticut is all the grocery stores from 6 a.m. till 7:30 in the morning. So you got an hour and a half window is for people like elderly, like 55 plus. So obviously it's more.
They're doing some of that stuff here, but it's not as bad as up
Florida. I think Florida. What's crazy to me is Florida. They said somebody told me 80% of Florida's population is over 60. I mean, that's like probably was a joke, but realistically, Florida does have a lot more older people. So I'm surprised Florida isn't like the Italy of the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a very similar demographic. I mean, I don't know statistics off the top of my hand, but you would assume that. Yeah, top of my hand. So, whatever. Top of my head. Back of my hand.
Dude, even on my my truck docks, like majority of our time spent inside the warehouse. But a nice day like today, we're like, okay, like let's stay outside all day and do outside work. Let's get our pallets outside and do that. Take advantage of the spring coming up. And obviously, we have a huge open area with a huge parking lot, and they told us, oh, no more than 5 guys within I think it was a 25-foot radius. And we're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? There's only 15 of us. They had to separate us because it's just getting out of hand, dude. Like every single hour, I have to stop whatever I'm doing, even if I'm in the middle of a fucking truck with like a mulch truck with pallets about to fall over. I have to stop what I'm doing and sanitize my whole machine. And if I don't, I get written up, which I understand. I understand why, because we're dealing with international truck companies all the time and people from all over the country. But yeah, it's totally weird because, like I said, I tried asking, people older than us, like, have you seen anything like this? And they're like, dude, absolutely not. This is the first
same thing.
Not since 1918.
Yeah.
I feel like
that was the flu.
Spanish flu.
Can't say Spanish.
After everybody came back from World War I, they brought back the flu with them, and then it fucking went crazy.
And they still like hosted the St. Patty's Day parade in Philly, and just like from all of Philly was basically infected in like a couple of hours just because they had that parade.
Fucking Genos.
It's wild. Fuck Pats. Kidding me.
I will say,
either.
I feel like shit got real for me when I saw the update that the NBA had canceled its season or suspended its season. And then I remember watching a hockey game that night, I was watching the Rangers that night, and then the Rangers obviously still played, and they just announced that the Columbus Blue Jackets will play a game with a empty arena, which I was like, okay, hockey will figure out something. And then the next day, NHLPA was like, yeah, no, we're going to cancel our season 2.
That happened while I was in work. I came out of work and looked at my phone. It said NHL season suspended, and I was like, oh my God.
And then
this is really happening.
Then MLB postponed season. And then I found out that Syndergaard had Tommy John surgery, so my life is ruined.
Opening day would have been yesterday. I haven't missed an opening day. Yeah, I haven't missed an opening day in years. That's like, it's like a fucking holiday, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? Like for me, who is a sports fan of multiple sports, I'm happy that wrestling has been able to put something on. I'm just not 100% satisfied with the way that WWE has gone about it. I'm very satisfied with the way AEW has, because they're acknowledging what's going on, and they canceled Blood and Guts. They're gonna move it to another date. Like they're just working with what they have right now. The way they spin it off that Jericho won't allow any of the fans in the arena. I think that's kind of funny, and
I heard a report today that said it was from Cultaholic News, because I've listened to them every morning for wrestling news for us, and they were saying that AEW taped a lot of stuff within the past 2 weeks. So they it's kind of like what WWE is doing now. They're just taping, and obviously they're going to have, even though they're in AEW's in a big arena or amphitheater, excuse me. The thing is that they're going to start, I'm sure at some point, Daily Place is going to be like, hey, like we can't do this anymore. We can't keep it open. And that's what Tony Khan was saying. He's saying, we're just taping everything as much as we can because we don't know what the hell's going to happen. Everyone was expecting a month from now, place will be reopened. We'll get back to normal life. It's not even looking that way at all. It looks like it's getting fucking worse. And the thing is that's why he went with the decision. He's like, whenever we have the time to take advantage of this place, let's get all of our storylines out now. Everyone stay here. I'll get you hotels, whatever you need. We need to tape this because who knows if a month from now, they'll even have enough content. We might see wrestling shows in AEW off the air for a while, which would suck,
Yeah,
it's wild.
But going back to Mania, yeah, dude, it's weird because like, how the fuck are you gonna have Wrestlemania in the Performance Center? When granted, I give them props for trying it, with Raw and SmackDown and somewhat NXT, what they've been doing. Eventually, they switched around the hard cam Ring of Honor style, which Matt pointed out with AEW, which I was like, I didn't even notice that. That's such a good move.
Oh, did they really?
Oh yeah, yeah. On Raw, it was shooting the ramp because you know what it does. As a viewer, when you're watching it, you're like, oh, it's a little different because you're not used to that side because you're used to seeing fans in the background. But when you don't have nothingness in the background, it's less distracting. Like when SmackDown did it, it was like all I'm doing is looking around the crowd, and I'm like, oh. It worked for the Bray Wyatt segment with John Cena, right? Bray Wyatt comes out of the crowd. It worked for the Matt Hardy thing when he was up there, but to have the constant shot of it is just so distracting.
Yeah, because that's everybody. When I watched it in my office at work, or when I was, people would walk in and be like, "Oh wow, they're still doing this!" Like during everything that's going on, like, "Oh wow, look at it's the first thing that everybody notices. Oh wow, there's no fans."
Yeah,
and that's what your eyes are drawn to.
Well, I think out of all the all the companies or promotions going on now, AEW's been doing it the best, especially that first episode where it was like, okay, like we all know AEW is the the kind of the new kid in town. Let's see what they're going to do with this empty arena show. Cody's promo at the beginning was great. Kind of he acknowledged it. Because if you watch WWE, they're not acknowledging it at all. Like they're keeping hush hush, which I get, because it's kind of Vince's way or whatever.
Let's play a replay of the 2009 Royal Rumble.
But,
maybe they won't realize for 45 minutes.
You know what?
Come on, dude.
The fact that they're doing these replay things like really irks me because I'm like, you have so many people on your roster that live in Tampa or live in Orlando, and like you can't utilize them just to put on some type of match.
Yeah.
But I understand that like maybe they don't want to go out. Totally understand. I'm sure somebody would.
Thing. A lot of people were getting a lot of heat online for having the product still go on because we're supposed to be practicing social distancing, and these guys are all over each other, on top of each other, sweating on each other. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you think that's fair to the entertainment to expose them to that?
I mean,
I think it's fair.
You have two people who don't have symptoms doing the thing they were doing a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's hard.
I think it's honestly, and I might get shit for this online if someone decides to tweet at me or something. I don't give a flying fuck. I think it's one of the things where they know. I didn't mean to say it like that. I don't know why I just sound like a middle schooler wearing a Fox hoodie or something.
So,
like, I'll drink a Monster for breakfast. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna shotgun a Monster. You guys know Ken Block, bro?
Oh, dude, they're on a Monster. Fuck it, I'll just get a No Fear. Anyways, I think it's one of the things where like I don't want to say it comes with the territory or something like this, but like obviously if these guys did not want to perform, like Roman Reigns, he's like I don't want to go into this. Like I'm not.
I understand his 100%. He should be nowhere near that.
I feel like it's kind of we don't know.
But even Goldberg, he's old too, man. He can potentially be at risk.
Yeah, but no, you're right about that. But I feel like it's kind of like the Saudi Arabia deal, where it's like, hey, if you want to come and do this, come and do this. If not, like no questions asked, we won't ask you to come. And I feel like a lot of these guys maybe want their Mania payday, or they're like, hey, the show's got to go on, or I want to be a part of something totally different. I think it's just kind of one of those things where if they don't want to show up, they don't have to show up. But if they're, I'm sure at this point they're like, hey, As long as you're on the main roster, it's like free ball game. Like who can help us out? You know what I mean?
The show must go on.
Out of all the I think all the WWE shows, I haven't watched NXT in like a fucking month and a half, which I'm like kind of kicking myself in the ass because I heard there's some really good shit going on there, and I'm definitely going to catch up for it. I think once TakeOver got canceled, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I just lost so much interest. I was like, God damn it. But the best part of all these WWE shows I'm talking about, AEW is doing it the best. But if we're talking about WWE, that first one with Triple H was awesome. That was so much fun to watch. I was watching at the bar that I go to. They got 36 TVs. They always put SmackDown whenever I ask them to put it on. And I'm there with my buddy from high school who's like super into wrestling too. I'll get his podcast name towards the end of this, and we'll shout him out because he listens to us religiously whenever we put something out. But we're watching it, and obviously there's no sound. You're at a bar. But we're reading the subtitles. But even just like their body language, you could tell, especially Michael Cole was having so much fun.
They were having fun. That was,
Yeah. And the thing about like that is you can tell that was all Hunter right there. Just being like, fuck it. We're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want. Like you watch the first NXT UK takeover where Michael Cole is doing commentary. Vince didn't run the show. And even to this day, as much shit as people give Michael Cole, that show specifically, the NXT UK takeover, people to this day talk about how awesome Cole was because he didn't have Vince in his ear the whole time. Not saying like don't push the network, like none of that shit.
Really, I never saw that.
Oh, it was awesome, dude. It was so good.
It's boss time, the big dog.
I don't know what the hell he says.
I like when he was in one of the PC shows they did, and it was Cole in the Star, and he's in the ring alone. He's like, "Well, it's time for the contract signing between Goldberg and this man, the big dog, Roman Reigns." and it's just like, no, it's just like you just hear the hissing of the mic. He's like, "Spare him." But
like, there's something different between the way that he just calls out like Sasha Banks with or when he announces out, with Boss Time, or Roman Reigns with the big dog. There's something different about that and the way that people refer to Chris Jericho as Le Champion. Like, I don't know. There's maybe because Jericho is like trying to do it in a heelish way. So when people refer to him as Le Champion, it's like, it just works. But the way you keep pushing big dog on me and like whatever, it's
I'm never gonna say big dog in my life.
But now for the contract signing between Goldberg and this man, which you can see on the WWE Network for $9 a month,
and also get one of his shirts for 50% off after 9:01
tonight only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and on Saturday. I forgot Saturday and Sunday.
I forgot what fucking WWE oh, no, it was a SmackDown show, and I was drunk at the bar, and you guys were replying to anything, and I was like, yo, Colin, flash sale.
Buy one, get one 25 cents off. Oh, bro, what a deal.
You can buy a $25 shirt for free, but shipping's $27. And
they're never going to do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Until Wednesday during NXT.
Until literally 48 hours from now.
But yeah, dude, it's weird because like you're seeing the best of performers and promotions at this time. It's the same thing. I think it's the same thing with just life in general right now. You're seeing the best of people, and you're seeing the absolute fucking like, come on, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like what are you doing?
You know what they should do? You know how they keep replaying all this stuff? They should drop other content from WWE Network on their time slot for Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday if they can't produce the amount of matches that they're trying to do. Like,
I agree with that.
What do you mean by that?
Like,
so like on
put out
316 day
product. Yeah.
Yeah, like on 316 day, instead of trying to do a half-ass Raw, why don't you put on like the best of Stone, whatever you have on the collection of Stone Cold Steve Austin on the network, put that on there.
Vault.
Like
this way you have everybody.
You mean like put that on like
the world.
USA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
because even like
would
ESPN is doing it. Like ESPN for the past couple of nights, I've been watching the OJ 30 for 30, and obviously ESPN is all sports, and there is no sports going on. They're just playing their documentaries, and you're still drawing numbers because these are the people that we like. These are the people that we love, that we look up to, or heroes. They're still gonna get a good amount of people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Dude,
that would be awesome though. Like that's a good idea, especially for like that 316 day. Like, okay, have 2 matches, like live matches, current day, obviously. But then it's like, oh, the best of Stone Cold. Like, dude, actually, that would be like a lot of fun to watch. It's like it's reminiscing on old times. Like, oh, remember when we could actually walk into an arena?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, hey, look, this is when Attitude Era was at its prime.
Remember
but
crowds?
They have like collections of individual superstars, and like even the documentary, the Wednesday Night Wars that we were, or not the Wednesday Night Wars, the Monday Night Wars that we were watching for a while in Rhode Island. Like, dude, you get running out of content,
And those are
put that on
hours,
for an hour.
Hours worth of shit.
I remember
you got 12 weeks filled right there.
I remember when you guys were rewatching all the Raws and Nitros, and like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie High Fidelity when he rearranges his record collection. He's like, what are you rearranging it to this time? Alphabetical order, numerical? He's like, by Heartbreak. And he's like, whoa. And then you guys are like, I'm like, oh, you guys are rewatching like Raw and Nitros? You're like, Colin's like, yeah, but every single one that's taken place in the Nassau Coliseum. And I was like, whoa.
Dude, that's fucking deep.
You're like, anytime they
Oh,
came to Long
man.
Island watching that shit, I was like,
Bro, I had it queued up. It was like called the Long Island Wrestling Wikipedia or something. Like, it was its own webpage, and it broke down every single event that took place in Nassau Coliseum. That was fucking. I wish I could have Googled it.
I remember we got drunk that night and you guys were watching it again. I was like, so like, what year you on? You're like 98. And I was like, oh, that was a good year, man. That was the last good year of Nitro. I was like, right on, man. Cool.
That's what I made my. I remember, Matt. Remember, I took the camera. I was trying to get the perfect picture of Billy Gunn in the Rangers jersey. I was like, bro, that has to be my Twitter avatar, bro.
You know what it is though? Like, all that stuff just means so much more to you and me because we could have been there or we were there. And it's like, look how cool they put on like this show on Long Island that like was just amazing. And it was such, with the Rangers jersey, so geared towards Islander fans, but you know, half the crowd would have been Rangers fans anyway.
Well, you will, because Connecticut has wrestling royalty too. We had Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor, and not only that, I was there for the Rusev Lana wedding, or Rusev. Wait, I almost said Rusev Lashley wedding. Whatever.
Yeah, I was there. I was in Rhode Island when Dean Ambrose turned on Seth Rollins after Roman Reigns announced he had leukemia. That was weird. It was such a weird opening segment.
Oh, that's right. That was the opening segment too.
Well, I remember that was like that got pushed onto like ABC 7 like News at 10. I remember that.
Dude, he came out. Oh my God, he came out in. It was in October. I remember he came out and everybody's booing him. And my friend Devin's like, "Why are we booing this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, he just, everybody boos him." Comes out, he's like, "Yo, my name is Joe, and I have leukemia." And then I was like,
"Oh shit!" Well, you got to think of it like, dude, that was like, I remember when that heel turn happened. Like, dude, that's like, it's weird. That was such a genius heel turn because you just got to people's emotions right then and there, where people are like, "What the fuck?" You say what you will about it, like that's just. Well, I don't know. Actually, I think it still is because even though the Ambrose shoot that he did on Chris Jericho's show, but it's not as bad as like fucking. What was it? Vince wanted Ambrose to say something about Roman Reigns where he's like, he deserves to die or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think I feel like, remember that.
And he was like, yeah, I'm not saying that. Like, not at all.
I think it's hysterical how like Dean Ambrose getting vaccinated and the gas mask and all that angle. And people are using that as a meme for today.
I remember there was those memes on like the AEW forums on Reddit or subreddit, excuse me, and they were like, "This shit would be so fucking over right now." Like 2 years ago, everyone was like, "Get this shit the fuck off my TV," and now it's like the COVID.
They were just really ahead of their time.
Little do we know, John Moxley is a writer for The Simpsons. Like he just predicts all that shit. I mean, the ones that I don't even know when the next time we're actually going to be able to walk into a fucking arena.
Quarantine matches. Bro, did you see the people on just online who are doing like the UFC 249 or like the March Madness, and they're just setting both controllers to the computer, and they're just like watching it as if it was really gonna happen.
That's gonna be me for WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They should just do that. I'd rather watch that on fucking Fox.
Well, there was some guy who did
2K20 with all the glitches.
That was the thing. Some guy had 2K up for WWE, and he was doing the blood and guts matches with the community creations, and the screenshot was up on the subreddit. I was like, oh, this actually might be kind of cool. I had some downtime at work, so I clicked play. Dude, it was weird. And what the matches were weird. It's just the kid behind this all was like, hey guys, what's going on? Today we're gonna do AEW's blood and guts. And like I remember Kenny Omega's like walking down the ramp, and he's like, oh, this is the cleaner. That's the cleaner, Kenny Omega. And I was like, and my coworker Emmanuel looks at me, he's like, yo, what the fuck you watching? and I was like,
nah,
I don't even
nothing,
know at
dude.
this point. I was like, nothing. And I just remember the guy recreated Cody at the top of the cage doing the moonsault or whatever. And like you think like someone like trying to like hype it up on YouTube would be like, oh, that was a crazy moonsault. And he just goes, now the moonsault. He said the move before it happened. He goes, and now the moonsault from the American Nightmare. That now people are getting stir crazy where they're doing fucking universe mode and like their weird sides coming out.
Yeah, that's a little much.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I went on a Jericho cruise because that was like the last major thing I did. That was the end of January, and then all this shit fucking happened.
Imagine if you would have been stuck on that cruise liner with everyone on the Jericho cruise. Yeah. Like, imagine.
Yeah. we gotta go dock in California. They won't let us in for 2 weeks. I'm just staring at Jericho. He hasn't stopped drinking.
I'm just imagining like Matt gets stuck on the cruise liner on the Jericho cruise. It's pandemonium, and MJF's just still kayfabing it like he's the guy from Titanic. Like, I have a child. I'm just imagining him doing that shit. Like, well, I mean, dude, like we haven't done an episode in a while. I mean, dude, the Jericho cruise for you, just the shit you were sending us and telling us the report through again from you. Sounded like it was like dude, I'm not going to Mania next year in Hollywood or whatever. I'm trying to go on that Jericho cruise because the way you made it sound like it was like a dream vacation for any wrestling fan.
Oh yeah,
if the world is still around by then.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it was unbelievable, right? It was a lot of fun, and it's just unique being able to like walk around and then like, you know, your favorite wrestlers walk by real quick, and you're like, yeah, what's up? Or like, hey, can we take a quick picture? Because they were all about it and they were happy.
Yeah.
But
well,
who
I'm
knows?
sure
like, it might not even happen next year with this shit going on. It's supposed to be in February, but with Norwegian and their issues right now, and all the cruise liner issues and everything going on, and the safety of individuals.
A lot of those companies are even like running out of money. They're going bankrupt.
Well, that's why they're doing their bailout thing.
That quick.
Yeah.
Well, everybody canceled everything.
I think if this shit goes way worse, I think the last things that are going to survive are like Jeff Bezos and my shitty Toyota Corolla, because I don't know how that thing hasn't fucking shit the bed yet. But I still got one hubcap missing, dude. It sucks. But dude, like that's the thing is like those guys were probably so hyped. Like the performers on that cruise, because they've probably never been on that big of a scale before, and like even still so now, you know what I mean? So they were probably so appreciative of like fans like you, like, can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph, or can I buy you a drink or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's buying anybody drinks because of the drink package, but it's just expensive. Dude, on
I went to
but no, I don't want a fucking drink from you.
They had their own package. They have different access than everybody else, and a certain floor that like no one else can go on except for the wrestlers and the staffers. So
bubbly lounge.
But like they be openly doing karaoke. They be walking around, setting stuff up, going to the bar, get a drink, whatever. It's really cool.
Was there any crazy, like, not crazy stories, but like, did you see any wrestlers like fucked up at all, or no?
No.
No, you did like Marco Stunt doing a body shot with Sonny Kiss or something like that.
No.
Damn.
Oh, man.
I was hoping.
That's a goal of mine to see that one day.
Oh shit, Rio's doing Coyote Ugly on the bar.
You know what I did notice about Dynamite this week is that there was no wrestlers in the crowd this week. So I don't know if maybe something's going on in Jacksonville, social distancing wise or whatever, but they had them in the back, and they would go back to that shot of them in the back.
Well, I remember when they had the guys in the crowd the previous week, which I thought was genius. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. MJF alone could have just been in the crowd alone by himself. He was just making the show so much better. But then there was people on Twitter where you had half the people on Twitter on, I call it wrestling Twitter, obviously, but you had half the people on wrestling Twitter like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. And I was one of them tweeting from our account. Like, this is making the show actually feel like a kind of a small indie show, but it was just making it better. It was filling a gap that like was not, needed to be filled a little bit. But then you had half other people like, you can't do this. Like, how dare you, social distancing, da-da-da. If you look at the chairs, first of all, they're all 6 feet apart, like within a circle radius. So then all these people got mad at them. And then all of a sudden AEW does it at, the whole backstage thing where they're all in a room. And the people who were mad the previous were like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be done. Good. I'm like, they're closer though. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what does it matter? Like,
you're never going to make everybody happy.
No, you're not. But I also feel like we're not seeing that with WWE at all. They're not having anybody in the crowd or backstage commentating during the matches and like that. I know they were supposed to have a lumberjack match, and that never happened either because they were getting heat for that too. So I honestly think AEW is just killing it. They're firing on all cylinders. Holy shit, that felt so good to say. Wow. Been a while.
My brain just broke.
Was the Best Friends match this week? Weren't they supposed to have a street fight? A parking lot fight?
That's going to be next week, I believe. They're going to have a parking lot brawl with the Lucha Bros, which means top rope supersedas off of fucking Subaru Outbacks and shit like that. So that'll be a fun match. But at the same time, would they pre-record that or make it live? Because it seems like they're just all the promotions are just recording shit, or taping stuff weeks in advance just to like get it out there.
It's time for Eric Bischoff to come back out and start reading off the winners and losers of the match like he did on Nitro.
Oh my God! Don't switch the channel. Otis just won the 24/7 championship. I feel like it's weird. I mean, even Mania, dude, I'm not even stoked to watch Mania.
No, not at all.
I mean, obviously with any promotion, any match card is always subject to change 24/7, no matter what. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like we're even in WrestleMania season right now. It kind of feels like the Royal Rumble was our WrestleMania for this year, in my opinion. I don't know about you.
That was the last major thing, right?
Yeah, and especially
besides the Elimination Chamber, but that was
that was awful. It was
they should have went all in on the Elimination Chamber with everything going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, though, is that's how I feel. I feel like the Royal Rumble was like Mania for us, especially with the Edge coming back. Holy shit, dude. That caught me so off guard when that happened. Like, so off guard. But, I mean,
sad state of affairs.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I don't even know what to say right now because it's like, what do you say? And especially think about it from our perspective, like not trying to make us seem entitled or special, but it's like think about it from us as ticket holders who had this whole vacation planned out. It's like it's a fucking bummer, dude. It's a total fucking bummer.
Now we're just gonna have to get together and Skype Dark Side of the Ring together.
Oh yeah, what a sad freaking beginning.
Did you guys finish part 2?
Yeah. That was fucking dude. When his son started crying, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of welled up.
Flowing, huh?
I was like, damn, that sucks. Because the thing is that I think that I didn't. I didn't shed a tear, but I got kind of welled up because I felt super bad because he was on the Chris Van, how do you say his name? Vliet or Veet?
Van Cleet, right?
No.
No,
I know who you're talking about.
The guy who looks like Zach Bagans is like cousin who went to Harvard or something like that. He just looks so clean cut. But no, because David Benoit was on his show talking, and it was a really awkward interview, and not awkward in the sense of like, because he was like, I'll talk about anything, but he was just very humble, and he was like, yeah, like I'm super appreciative. And he kept saying like, oh yeah, WWE, they just didn't like me because I was wearing an AEW shirt, but it's all good. Like he was just playing it very, very cool. And then you see him in Dark Side of the Ring, and they're like, who reached out to you from WWE after the whole event? And he goes, Chris Jericho and Chavo Guerrero. And then he starts crying. He's like, fuck WWE. He's like, they treated me like shit.
Yeah.
So every time I was backstage, they treated me like I was like my father, like I was a murderer that got like they treated him like he was OJ getting acquitted and he's backstage or something. When the kid had nothing to do with it. But then it was like when he started like crying and Chavo comes over and you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah, and then the aunt, I was like, oh my, it was very intense watch.
Yeah, and it's funny. I started rewatching some episodes. I rewatched like 3 episodes from the first season. And the first season was really great too, but this one is going to be, and imagine that starting it off with a 2-hour Chris Benoit documentary that everybody's been waiting for what, like 14 years now. You know what I mean?
I think that was.
What are the other episodes?
There's like 10 this season or something like that.
Yeah.
Did they say what they're on?
Yeah, they gave one's on.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, pull that up, Jamie.
New Jack is next.
Yeah, that's the one out. The what is it? The Life and Crimes of New Jack. And like, dude, the New Jack's a scary motherfucker. He was at some WrestleCon that I was at one time. They're like, you want to go over? I was like, I must have been like 13, 12 years old. My parents were like, you want to go get it? Because I knew who he was from ECW. My parents were like, you want to go get an autograph of him? And I was like, absolutely not.
Absolutely no, there is no.
I was like, that guy looks like he smokes cigarettes and then eats the butts after. I was like, fuck that. Like, not a goddamn chance I'm going over there.
He's gonna smoke a cigarette and put it out on my forehead.
All right, so this is what's confirmed for this season. So we had Benoit Part 1 and 2, The Life and Crimes of New Jack, which is about New Jack, ECW guy. Brawl for All, so WWF's at the time, their boxing thing that they had going on. Jimmy Snuka and the Death of Nancy Argentino, which is obviously focused on Jimmy Snuka. The Assassination of Dino Bravo, and then untitled ones for David Schultz, Herb Abrams, Owen Hart, and Over the Edge 99. And then the last episode is The Road Warriors, which I'm assuming is about cocaine-filled wrestling and whatever.
I could already see they're gonna be very intense watches.
Yeah.
Because they get right into it.
I didn't even know they were doing an Owen Hart one. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's oh fuck, dude, that's gonna be
I could see that one and Jimmy Snuka being like, oh shit, like just a very intense watch.
I feel a subpoena coming about from one Vincent Kennedy McMahon, dude.
I'm glad that like Vice actually did successful. It's kind of like, in a way, it definitely shadows, obviously the dark side of wrestling, right? And this is the part of wrestling that nobody likes to talk about, but it is interesting, and I think it's important that Vice does these so that you learn from it in the future, right? So like everything going on with Benoit, we learned from CTE. I don't know what we're going to learn about New Jack and all that stuff, but who knows? Brawl for All, how that was a failure and all that. Like,
wasn't it a crazy point of the last one, of the Benoit one, where I can't think of his name right now. The one who he became a doctor.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're
his
talking
name.
about. Yeah,
and he's just talking about, and then they queue up on everybody, and Jericho's like, you just grinded your teeth and tensed your neck up and just took the chair shot, and they're showing everybody get fucking hit. They show Brock Lesnar's failure at a shooting star press, and you're like, they said his brain looked like a 75-year-old man with Alzheimer's. I mean, that's just real crazy shit.
I think That's the thing now is like when you see chair shots to the head nowadays, they put their hands up. So their hands are taking most of the blow, except when you're talking about fucking Cody Rhodes and Shawn Spears. That shit, because when that happened, I was like, were we all together when that happened or no? Yes, we were, because remember Tom Burns reacts. I remember that because you were like, dude, Shawn Spears just came out with a gun.
With a gun. Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing chair shots to the head and these trolls are here.
You know, like, it's... Yeah. I think... I don't know. It's something about... Like, I love wrestling, right? So wrestling's... A lot of my life is wrestling, and something about watching, like, the real life of things, like the Ric Flair documentary or the one about Jake the Snake. Like, seeing those things, man, like...
Well, you see these guys
glad that like
they're portrayed. Yeah, exactly. Like it's lessons to be learned, and it's not just it doesn't have to be lessons learned for like someone who's in the wrestling business. It can be just life in general. You know what I mean? But it's weird seeing documentaries like this for me because obviously we've all grown up watching wrestling, and we're adults now, so we understand how life fucking works. These guys are performers, they're actors. But the thing is that when you watch these guys growing up, you think they're invincible, they're superheroes, they're comic book guys. These are real life comic book heroes brought to life. They're invincible, nothing can hurt them. And then you see what they go through just to entertain us. I mean, think about that. You had one of the greatest of all time taking chair shots to the head to the point where he murdered his family and his brain was like scrambled fucking eggs. For what? To hear us, to see us smile and being entertained. And that's why you watch documentaries like that and you're like, these guys are going through so fucking much just to put a smile on our faces. Like, think about that. You know what I mean? It's
wild.
Yeah,
that's what's wild.
But I mean,
the part like, where he said Harley Race said, "Don't do the flying headbutt. It's the most dangerous move." Then Kid Dynamite does it. Says the same thing. Don't do it. Then Benoit does it. It's just, like you said, you're learning from your past, but you want to do it to be the best in the business, to be the best for your fans, and at what cost?
Yeah. Were you going to say something, Matt? What was that?
I forgot my thought. I mean, I think it was just like the way you look at things later on, like with Benoit and CTE, and then you have. Let's just go back in time to when Liv Morgan got kicked in the face by Brie Bella.
Oh, yeah.
And she had a concussion. So, like, WWE took her out of the match and, like, put her on concussion protocol. So they learned some things, through these negative things that happen in wrestling.
But it's weird, though, because you're totally right about that. But think about it like this. It took Benoit killing his fucking family for them to start taking action.
For them, yeah.
Like, well, I mean, that's the crazy part.
Yes, that is crazy. But in the NFL, it's kind of the same thing, too.
Yeah, that is true.
It took, 4 NFL players who did these heinous crimes to understand what was actually going on with these hits to the head and everything. And OJ, who also may have had some CTE, who knows?
I think he's got hey Twitter world. I love his Twitter, dude. I love the parody accounts that it's like the real OJ32, but it's not him, and it's just like all this guy tweets is like, I killed my wife, and he's got 55,000 followers and shit.
Like, it says dead ass. It says dead outside as my career was before I killed Nicole or whatever. It's like, oh my god. I was telling my boss about it the other day. I was like, people just troll the fuck out of him when he's like sitting there smoking a cigar with a golf club, and they're like, oh yeah, you probably would have used that golf club to kill them both, didn't you? And then like he just goes on and blocks him.
He shared one on his Twitter, the parody account, where it was like that famous video of that guy on the subway in New York where he slaps the chick wearing the 8-ball jacket. And he shared it. The caption was like, nothing like passing the torch. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. That is so messed up. But going back to not OJ, yeah, dude, it's weird because I love watching this shit. But I guess it goes with the name, Dark Side of the Ring. Like, even the one I like, the ones from season 1 were really good. But if you want to see like some really like damn like holy shit type of stuff, go watch the Von Erichs one. That one is the one that like I was in the middle of watching it last night and I had to like I didn't have to turn it off or I didn't want to. I pretty much just fell asleep. But I remember watching it the first time and I didn't really grasp it, but you have this family of 5 wrestlers that like in Texas were royalty. Like they could sell out stadiums, like football stadiums. And then 4 out of the 5 die within a 3-year span. Drug overdose, car accident. Like it's just crazy because it's like these guys aren't invincible. And like even like stuff like you don't even have to be a documentary. Like you look at like the Roman Reigns shit, we all fucking couldn't stand his character. We're like, fuck this guy, like get the fuck out of here. Then he comes out and he's like, he breaks the fourth wall. He's like, my name's Joe and I have leukemia. You're like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Fuck, this is a dude who's huge, gigantic.
I think one of the best things that one of my favorite movies that I like is The Wrestler. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh, Mickey Rourke, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that does a good you don't like that movie?
Oh my god.
I think it's a good
That's fucked up.
a good depiction of what wrestling life probably was. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think there's a lot more structure to it.
Yeah.
I think WWE and AEW have made it way more professional. Like it's professional wrestling, but they've made it way more professional than ever.
Yeah. Well, they're taking care of their guys now. You know, it's not just a fend for yourself kind of thing. And it seems like a lot of guys, well, I wouldn't say WWE for this next part, but at least AEW, everyone's getting a fair shot. No one's getting left behind. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, your gimmick doesn't work. Like, okay, so the Nightmare Collective doesn't work out. Let's change it up. Let's switch it up. Let's see what we can do. Because like, you guys, you know, you're under contract. We're paying you guys. We don't want you to sit at home. You're a product for us at the same time. And we also want to take care of you. So I think it's so true how you say it's changed like that. Because I remember watching, where was it? It was some like What Culture list or something, like 10 best wrestling movies or something. And obviously the Wrestler was like number 1 or whatever. And they said, I mean, the scene where, I don't know if you remember the scene where it was like all the guys at like a convention kind of thing, like a bingo hall where they're like kind of sitting down ready to take autographs and stuff. Like Roddy Piper was at the showing of that movie and walked out crying because he was like, this is so, these are all my friends that never made it. Like, this is how it is. Like, this is the most realistic shit. So it's weird because
I remember I went to Creative Pro Wrestler with Higgins, and I walk in and I was like, dude, is that Funaki sitting at the table over there? And Higgins is like, no, why would Funaki be here? And it was Funaki. So it was just like really weird, but like, you know, he's just sitting there selling autograph photos or whatever. And
that's like when
it's like kind of like sad, but then I realized that he probably has a good gig because he's doing the commentary for the Japanese promotions at every pay-per-view. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's also the guy that like brings over for WWE. He's the talent agent for Japan too for them. He's the one that brought over. Yeah, he's the one that brought over cool. Like Shinsuke and Io Shirai and Kairi Sane and all them. Like,
you know, there's like some ECW guys that are just left in the dark. They weren't treated right, and then you know, whatever issues they had. Like, I'm sure we're gonna figure out some shit with New Jack, but you know, all those kind of guys.
I mean, like, there's have you guys watched ECW?
I mean, RVD's ECW, he's doing quite well. So
yeah. Did you guys ever watch the ECW documentary that came out in 2004? Or no? It's on the network. You can watch it on the network. I had it on DVD, and like a lot of these guys got left. And like, dude, like talk about Sandman. Like, I think that guy kind of had it coming though. He was just a fuck up. But yeah, a lot of these are like Perry Saturn, like that guy who went to
Saturn was my boy.
Really?
He went to some hard shit, like so much drugs and everything, and homelessness.
That was Moppy, right?
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy, dude.
I know no one's gonna see this video, but just the fact of Colin sitting back in a fucking car now, hitting an e-cig, going, "That was Moppy, right?"
Well, I remember I had the action figure with him with Moppy. He had the milk carton when he went missing.
Devon, get the muffins.
I remember. I remember when the PS2 came out, and I got it for Christmas, and they had SmackDown Just Bring It, which was the first PS2 wrestling game they had, and I played as Perry Saturn, and he comes out with the mop, and my dad at the time goes, I paid $300 for this fucking thing, and they can't even make the mop look real. This is bullshit. He goes, they didn't even give him his lazy eye that he's got. What the hell is this shit? I paid $300. This is bullshit. He's like, why don't you just go back to your N64?
It's a goddamn mop. How hard could it be?
That was Moppy, right?
Yeah, you know, the guy with the mop.
Oh, that's like a first date. So, like, what was your favorite wrestler growing up? So we had a mop. Just start off with like, oh great, oh sick, heck yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, take a piss.
Get the fuck out of
here. Yeah, you're right though, man. There's like so many wrestlers that have fallen on hard times that kind of come out with shit. I think the biggest redemption story is definitely Jake the Snake with that documentary they did. Like that was by far one of my favorite just overall documentaries.
If you want to see Colin cry, there's 2 wrestling documentaries that will make him cry. It's the Jake the Snake one, and the Ric Flair 30 for 30.
Oh yeah, bro. I don't. Let's put it this: I don't cry. I tear up a lot.
And I clean it up.
They start going. I clean it up with the mop. Yeah, whatever the fuck you were gonna say.
Oh.
Now Alex is crying. Good job.
I got my Perry Saturn action figure with a little mop just in case a tear rolls down my cheek.
Man, I'm going stir crazy in quarantine, all right? Let me just tear up a little bit, bro.
Can a man just cry to some PS2 graphics? Fuck yeah. That Ric Flair 30 for 30 though was dude, you could just tell this guy was doing all this shit because when he was like, yeah, my parents never came to any of my matches. They came to one, they walked out. Like you could tell this guy was just doing it for like, you know, some kind of weird childhood mental kind of, you know, looking for that attention he never got. But
Andre the Giant was sad.
Yeah, the HBO special.
Yeah, I mean all of them.
It's
a hard life. That shit ain't easy.
The Jake the Snake interview on Joe Rogan. That shit was like you were laughing your ass off the entire time. But the last 20 minutes when he starts talking about how he was like molested as a kid and how it played into like the wrestling world for him, I was like, dude, this guy is in such a good fucking place now. Like, holy shit. But I think guys, I know we're kind of doing a free for all here, but we like, what do you say we run down the Mania card and our thoughts on it? Sound good?
Sure.
Yeah, because my phone's about to die.
All right, so running down as quick as we can before Moppy has to go. All right, first of all, let's start off with our host, Gronk. Fuck that shit. I hate it. I fucking hate the Patriots. Sorry, I know that sounds... What do you guys think?
You love the Patriots. What are you talking about?
Dude, when you're in Connecticut, everyone's like, what's your favorite sports team? I'm like, oh, the Cowboys. You're just like, you're not a Giants fan? You're not a fucking Patriots fan? The fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm an Oilers fan. Let's just say I'm an Oilers fan.
Yeah, I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan.
Oh, now you are. I can be.
You know
I actually live here.
You know what's funny is my brother sent me, my mom was cleaning out all the shit. Remember I sent you guys the picture? She sent me in the Stone Cold shirt.
Yeah.
She sent me me and my brother one of, we were in like when you're a little kid, you go sit in the cockpit before you go fly. So
yeah.
me and my brother, and we were on our way to Florida, and I had the Tampa Bay Bucks hat on. And I was like, see, I've been a fan of the Bucks since before Tom Brady went.
So we have Gronk hosting it, which obviously means he says he's not signed by WWE yet 2 weeks ago. It's like, get your Gronk merch. You can get like a fucking protein shake bottle with Gronk's name. Which I'm like,
he had merch, but they said, I saw the Twitter thing, they were like, Liv Morgan doesn't even have one shirt up in the store. Gronk has 3 items.
Yeah.
Oh God. You know, I'm not terribly mad about him being the host. Like, whatever. Like, you can have a big name like that be the host, but it's just, I don't know if right now is the right time. I think it would have been better with people in the crowd. You know, I don't know.
His intro was just so cringy.
I feel like he's gonna step in the ring once they start the show and like try to hype up like empty chairs, like get up, like, let's go, like shit like that. Like Mojo Rawley's there, just like drinking a bunch of Red Bull with him.
Baron Saxon just fucking.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
You just call him. Just call him Baron Saxon.
Oh, Byron, whatever.
Red Baron.
He's sitting there with the rating cards.
Oh,
The red Baron.
I just love that that empty arena. What? That was like so good. But so I'm on CBS Sport, or excuse me, I'm on Wrestling.com. They have the full card up. First, that was supposed to start the show off was Bobby Lashley versus Aleister Black. Bobby Lashley is now being in self-isolation or quote-unquote quarantine. He is not coming to Mania. Obviously, they've said at the time of this recording, which is March 27th, 2020, a Friday, they apparently, from rumor, have already recorded Mania this past Wednesday and Thursday. So obviously, none of them were watching AEW backstage, enjoying it of what could have been. So Lashley, Aleister Black off the cards. I'm okay with this because I feel like that should have never even been a match, especially for Aleister Black. They have him on this.
Aleister Black is my boy. He does not need to be
waste of a match.
Waste of a match, and also because you're wearing the incendiary shirt right now. That's why. You can't have him on a big winning streak, and it's like, who we gonna match him with? Let's see, who do we got available? Oh, I know, the most hated fucking performer in our main roster right now that no one can stand. Let's do that with him. It should have been a payoff with something else, but of course, circumstances, going on now. I'm sure, the roster's running thin, so I can't blame him for that. But next up, we have King Baron Corbin versus Elias. From what I've heard, apparently this match is canceled too. It's
waste of a match.
Yeah, it's a waste. It's like I don't even like King Corbin anymore. His gimmick was awesome.
Yeah.
His gimmick was awesome when we were at the Garden and everyone was chanting King Corbin and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. But now it's just overplayed. It's just overplayed.
Yeah, drawn out, very drawn out.
They're just building up to do something with Gronk and Elias and all those guys. Like,
are they?
I think so.
Yeah, and then Elias, it's like
Ojo, I guess. Yeah.
Elias. Go ahead, Matt.
No. I mean, they've been teasing like the Baron Corbin thing for a while because backstage he'd be playing the guitar and then he finally got to sing his song, but then he comes out during Gronk's introduction with Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
They're all kind of looped in it together, and it's just bleh. The only way to describe it.
So then going to the next one, we have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. I think this will be a good match. I think these guys have been building a program.
Don't mind this one. I think two wrestlers that will do a great performance in the ring, regardless if there's crowd or not. So
yeah, I mean, you got two.
This is one I would like seeing. I just wish that, the buildup was obvious. I just knew that was going to happen. So
yeah. Colin, obviously you've been watching wrestling nonstop. What do you think of this match?
Hold on, my phone is giving me problems.
You good? This is how live. It's just a big ass forehead on my screen right now.
Colin took a snapshot.
What is that?
He took a snapshot.
I go to the snapshot.
Right. Is that better?
I go, dude, this is the fucking greatest picture ever. It's Matt and I holding our mic smiling. And then Colin's like, it's like from the chin down, so you look like a potato. And then above that is just Barry Hardy.
I had to switch it. I had to pull out my headphones and put it over the Bluetooth in the car.
Oh, you sound awesome right now. What body of water are you in?
It sounds bad.
Yeah.
It's just keep it. It's fine. We're going
it's the end of the podcast anyway. So
yeah. And then
wrap it up soon.
Next up we
How about that? Is that better?
That's good.
Actually sound better.
That sounds really good. So next up we have the match that, besides the Edge match, this was the match I was looking forward to most seeing live, was Cena versus The Fiend. I think this is going to be awesome because rumor has it it's not going to be like a live match Obviously, none of them are going to be live. But as far as like, capturing a live in the ring, apparently this is supposed to be a cinematic experience, kind of like a final deletion with Matt Hardy kind of deal, but it's going to be in Bray Wyatt's world. I think that could work out cool with these two guys, to be honest.
It sounds cool if they do it right.
Yeah, I think if they film it right, and actually not having a crowd might be the advantage of this match. They can pull off some shit that they won't be able to pull off live.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of I would like to see more of the, like what was it, NXT was doing when they darken the crowd so you can't see, so it draws away your eyes.
Yeah, you talking about you talking about like the takeovers where they would just put the light in the ring, or
yeah.
Yeah. But plus that was a kind of a throwback to like how they did in like the old school days too. Like they used to do that in the 80s and the 70s too. And I remember my stepdad went to the first 11 WrestleManias, and I was asking him, I was like, was that weird when they like did the whole just the light like on the ring? He's like, dude, it was so cool to be at the Silverdome Stadium with like 90,000 people when Andre was slamming Hogan, but you weren't fixated on like, oh, is that drunk guy over there doing something funny, or so on and so forth.
Well,
he's like,
when we were at Takeover, we're all like, oh my god, look at Stephanie McMahon and her kids, bro. It's all
oh my god, it's Britt Baker over there.
I remember I was with the section I was in, I was like directly like facing right at Beth Phoenix, and her light that she had on her announce table fell over. It was like piercing in everybody's eye, and like it was kind of bothersome, whatever. And some drunk guy by was like, yo, Beth, pick up that light before I call Copeland. And I was just like, shut up, dude. Like, shut the fuck up. So then going next on the match is match card is the new, I can't believe I'm about to fucking say this, the Boneyard match between the Undertaker and AJ.
What is that?
We don't know. No one knows.
No one knows. It was AJ Styles. First of all, the build up to this has been awesome. Especially with AJ's promos, except for when Undertaker came out to a no crowd and just starts flipping tables. Like that was really awkward. Then it's like you figure like he grab a mic and be like, AJ, come out here, but it's like he flips the tables and chairs to no sound or no reaction, and then
it just went right to commercial.
Yeah, you just hear, "We'll be right back on Fox."
Yeah, that was kind of awkward, but I don't know. I find out that the Undertaker can actually walk. He can actually walk at a regular pace, if not faster.
He came out with the American Badass braids too. His braided hair, which I was kind of surprised at. But I think the reason that I think my my take on it is they're calling it a Boneyard match because they can't do a Buried Alive match anymore with the PG rating. So
okay,
that's kind of my thought on it, or my kind of theory. But how would you guys host a Boneyard match? Matt, what would your Boneyard match stipulation rules be? Like, how do you win?
What is your dream Boneyard match?
I don't know. I feel like you are in a cemetery, but they're all a cartoony kind of bones and stuff. Like, I don't know how.
It's like that, crying.
Is it like that episode of Viva La Bam when Slayer comes over and Rab himself like, I'm gonna dip these bones in gold.
No, it's the scene from The Lion King when they were the hyenas and Scar, and you just see all the bones of the fucking dead animals.
Oh yeah, maybe hitting them with a femur.
See, it'd be awesome if they came out with a Boneyard match and it was just Taker and Styles doing a face-off in the ring, and then Cole just takes out a fucking wishbone. He's like, all right, whoever gets the biggest piece wins the Boneyard match.
Oh my god, Taker just hit him in the face with a tibula. Oh my god.
It's actually just a live Hot Wings match.
Yeah, the Boneyard match is Hot Ones.
Whoever taps out first.
It's like they're both facing each other in the ring about to fucking murder each other. Hey, what's going on, everybody, for Hot One? I'm Sean Evans. I don't know. Well, I guess it's just the name that's kind of throwing me off. The Boneyard match.
The Boner Yard.
I did not see that one coming at all.
I mean, maybe it is a Buried Alive match. Maybe it's just a general no DQ match. Who knows? Should have had a casket match. That would have been cool.
Yeah, a casket match would have been fucking awesome, actually. And I don't think. When was the last time Taker was in a casket match? Oh, it was the Rusev one. It's super. Was it the greatest Royal Rumble of all time or whatever in Saudi Arabia? But yeah, I guess we'll see what goes on with that. It was just kind of weird having AJ do. He was cutting a really good promo. He goes, "Hey, zoom in on my face, Taker. I'll see you in the Boneyard match." And I was like,
"That was a really good Georgian accent."
It was good.
Thank you. I'm actually pretty good at impressions, but yeah, actually that was a really good one. Shit, the Boneyard match. But
I'm excited. Even though the name is weird, I'm excited about that match. I want to see it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it because I think you guys would agree with me. AJ Styles, the Undertaker's matches in the recent years, obviously there's a lot of criticism, and it's like, dude, like you've given us enough, like just rest. But I think we can all agree on AJ Styles can make anybody fucking look good. I mean, look at his match at Mania with Shane McMahon. That was awesome. So, yeah. Where I think we're all in agreement of we'll see where this goes. We're all excited for it, but we just the Boneyard's coming. Next up on the card is the one I'm most excited for personally. Last man standing match with Edge versus Randy Orton. What do you say about it? It's gonna be awesome, dude. It just sucks that we're obviously not gonna see it live, but it also sucks that Edge isn't gonna get that WrestleMania return in front of all those people at the same time.
Yeah. It would have I mean, what sucks is obviously I just want to say everything would be better if we were there and it was live, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Even if we weren't there, even if you had just a crowd on TV, I would have still been happy as a pig and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But he did do a good job with the promo to the empty performance center. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
Edge or Orton?
Edge.
Oh yeah, that was a good promo. I didn't see Orton's follow up, but yeah, you're right. That was a good one.
It was good. It was like a B plus, if I had to rate it.
All right, at best.
Yeah, that's good.
Not great.
I mean, no, they have done a really good job of any match on WrestleMania. This has been the best match to look forward to because the build-up is good, the history is there, and the intensity that you're feeling because you're like Edge's first return in a singles match. Like everything they've done with this one has been perfect. The only thing that sucks is no crowd.
Yeah. And you know what's weird is not weird, but you know what sucks the most? Now that I'm kind of looking at this match card on my computer, I'm fucking bummed out because this is a really good match card. Obviously, this is all changing as we go along, and matches are getting canceled. The performers aren't showing up. But imagine if like none of this Corona shit happened. Like we would have been out. Obviously, we wouldn't have known if it was a good Mania or not till after it all happened. But looking at this match card, it bums me out even more because it's like, dude, like we were set up for a really good, like one of the best match cards since what, like probably WrestleMania 34 or 33 at Orlando. That was my last favorite one.
We wouldn't know that it was a good WrestleMania until after it happened because we would have to wake up the next day and go online and see the results because we would have been too drunk to realize what happened.
Yeah, it definitely would have. It would have been me and Colin fucking 8 Heinekens deep when Angel Garza comes out chanting "You're adopted." Would have been that.
Trying to throw a Corona bottle from the stands.
Imagine if this shit actually happened.
Getting banned from every NFL arena for the rest of my life.
Dude, there was some chant that Higgins did at MSG, and like you guys, like, Matt was getting food, and you might have been with me, Colin. I don't think you were, but he was doing some chant that was like really offensive, and like I don't know Higgins at all besides like meeting him like 15 minutes prior, and I just went, dude, fucking stop. And he was like, oh, too much. I was like, yeah, but it's kind of funny. You can keep doing it if you want. I don't give a shit. I'm waste. He was like, all right, cool. You're not a bad guy. That's what he said. He's like, not a bad guy.
I think that's when we went to go get the fried Nutella balls.
Oh, dude,
broke keto that day.
You were eating those and just you had so much fucking like Cinnabon, like Nutella shit all over your mouth, and I was like, so how are they? You're like, bro. So good. Is Stone Cold out yet? And I was like, no, dude, we're like an hour into Raw. You're like, fuck, all right.
It was my birthday. I was fucking hammered.
Oh, that's right. So then going on to we were all fun. I drove home that night through like, I've never driven through Manhattan or New York City, but I got lost on my way to the fucking parking garage, and it was a block and a half away. I should not have been driving that night. Like, I stopped this random couple. I don't know if I told you that. I stopped this random couple, and I was like, I'm not asking for money or anything, man. That's how I started off, and I called them man. I was like, I'm not asking for money or anything, man. I was like, I'm looking for this place, man. It was my parking garage, and they're calling me like, yo, we're closing soon. You have to come and get it. And I'm like, I don't know where I am. And my Google Maps says I'm right here. They go, turn around. I was right in front of the fucking. And I was like, oh, cool. And I, as drunk as I was, most people were like, oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry to bother you. And I just went, oh, cool. Yeah, I'm from Connecticut. And I just fucking walked in the garage, like drunk off my ass.
Alex turns into Hulk Hogan when he's looking for directions. Listen here, brother. I'm not drunk. I'm just lost. Listen here, man.
I'm not homeless or anything, man. But
you guys looking for a third man?
You guys trying to get weird tonight?
Well, let me cuck you, brother. So anyway, go.
No.
Hollywood cuck Hogan.
Please keep going.
Yeah, I always ruin it. So going on, we have the. How the fuck am I gonna come back from saying cuck Hogan? So going on from that.
So that was dirty.
So going on from that, we have a match that's probably gonna get canceled, or is at least in jeopardy now. Angel Garza and Andrade against the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Andrade is injured apparently from I don't know, a week or two ago with a rib injury, and he has not been cleared to go for this match. So that's going to be weird. I don't know if maybe they'll get Angel Garza to have a surprise partner, or what do you? I don't know. I think they should just
cancel. They should cancel everything.
Yeah. Fucking just
cancel it all. Damn it!
Just fucking cancel Mania and fucking have them all watch on the network Wrestlemania 17. Well, I'd be happier with that, honestly.
If they would have done that first report you sent us, where the report was it was going to be pushed back to June at MSG, I think that would have been the greatest thing. And speaking as a New Yorker, obviously, I would have loved it because it's only an hour away from me. But why wouldn't you want to do that?
Well, I think it's one of the things too. Where
SummerSlam, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing is, I would think it would have worked out great for them to doing it close to SummerSlam a month apart. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna make a shitload of money back if you do it, in New York or wherever. But if you do it like Mania, imagine that Mania and SummerSlam back to back. That's two huge pay-per-views where it's like they can look back on it in history when they do a documentary years later on WWE, and it's like, hey, like it was a weird time, but like this happened once, and. Yeah. So I don't know. As far as this match goes, I gotta hurry up because I gotta pee too, Matt.
I texted it because it was in confidential. Okay, never mind.
We all gotta pee, dude. I've already said the word cuck on here. I don't think peeing is off limits.
We gotta pee, and Colin needs to get back to his apartment. Yeah. Otherwise, the police are gonna come after him.
I know. I ran
out the street.
There's been a trooper who's just circling the parking lot. This kid's been here too long. What is he plotting?
You went AWOL, son. What were you doing? I was talking about Chris Benoit in my car.
Throwing COVID bombs.
God. So going up next, we have the fatal 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's title. Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks versus Naomi versus Tamina Snuka versus Bayley, the champion. Dana Brooke was.
What did you say? Tamina Snuka?
Yeah. That's
Snuka's daughter.
Yeah. Tamina, that's.
When was that announced? I haven't watched in a while.
Everyone knows that. Oh, they changed her name last week. Oh, okay.
What was
her name is just Tamina, but I don't know. It was something with Bayley. Bayley was like, "Who are we gonna have? Tamina? Does she even work here still?" And then Paige was like, "Yeah, throw Tamina in there." And then a whole bunch of another.
I was watching it, but I had the volume all the way down in my office.
I think for this match, for me, I think Naomi's won 2 Mania matches. She's not going over. She's had her time in the sun. Lacey Evans, maybe. Tamina, I mean, come on. she's getting eliminated first. Let's be honest. She's a jobber. But Colin can laugh all he wants. I'm just speaking of what everyone's afraid to say.
She's a jobette.
Jobette.
I think maybe Lacey Evans, they would put her over because like she had some steam before at least. But at least for this match, I just want to see the Sasha and Bailey turn on each other. I think that would be kind of a cool storyline to start again.
That'd be cool. Or maybe they were trying to build something up for SummerSlam between Sasha and Bailey. Who knows?
Yeah. Or at least have like Lacey, Naomi, and Tamina get eliminated, then it's just down to Bailey and Sasha. Like that would
they have to have no choice.
Yeah.
But I just feel like everybody's gonna turn on like it's gonna be 3 against 2 for a while.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because they're so going on from that, we have the Raw Women's title match, Shayna Baszler against Becky Lynch. I'm excited for this match, of course, because I even when Shayna was in NXT, I thought she was badass. But I'm kind of like a little bit less stoked for it off the way that WWE's been booking her. I mean, to start it off with her, like biting fucking Becky and like fake blood coming out, like that was stupid. But they've been.
I don't like the way they label her. They don't like how they label her as the cage fighter with a subpar MMA record. You know, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, like Matt Hardy's. Matt Riddle is a cage fighter. Brock Lesnar is the cage fighter. Yeah, at least with a winning record too.
What was Shayla? What's her record?
Shayna Baszler.
I always fuck that up.
Second.
Shayla Bagel.
I know she lost to who's the UFC champion right now?
The women's?
Not Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, she lost to Amanda Nunes. Her mixed martial arts record is 15 wins, 11 losses.
You said 15.
That's still not bad though.
Yeah, but
I feel like
great, but depending on who the losses were against.
I feel like I don't want to say the downfall of
she
Shayna
lost
way too early, but
she
not
lost
having
to Amanda Nunes in 2015, the UFC Fight Night in Rio de Janeiro.
Rio.
She lost to Beth Correa, lost to Amanda Nunes, lost to Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, she lost to some pretty big names.
So how do you guys feel about it? Are you excited for this match? Because I am. I just hope Shayna goes over. She deserves it. But I feel like she should have won the Rumble to get her steam kind of rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I don't know how they're gonna go with this one. Like, are they just gonna continue with Becky as like the ultimate women's champion, or are they gonna see something different?
Can you?
What do you mean?
Like what? How? If she beats Baszler, when is she ever going to drop the title?
Yeah, and who's she going to drop to? If not the one and only Ronda Rousey.
Tamina.
Oh my God! I thought we would have done. I haven't been involved with this in so long. I thought we would have had just one podcast where Ronda wasn't brought up.
I mean, that's Ronda Rousey's friend, so.
You never know. She could come out. Oh, that would be cool to have like Ronda do like a run in, and then then Becky drops the title, but then it's like Becky versus Ronda, like kind of feud. Oh, that could be cool.
I love the meme that Matt or somebody sends out like during every big pay-per-view, and it's Ronda when she's sitting in the chair getting like her hair done. It's like, you thought I was gonna come back.
Going up
I think
from
she
that.
posts that.
Going up from that next, we have the WWE NXT Women's title match, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I'm stoked for this match. The build-up's been really good. It's been a solid, good booking because Charlotte's been on NXT more than the main roster for this build-up. So obviously we got Hunter kind of being like, take the reins, do whatever you want to do, build it up the way you would want to. I'm stoked for this match. I don't have much to say on it, but it's not because I'm not excited. I much am. I think it's kind of like just set in stone for itself, and it kind of speaks for itself. And I'm hoping Rhea goes over to establish her as a very dominant champion and put more eyes on the NXT product for the casual viewer or the people who only watch the main roster.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
That was a pretty good point. I'll agree with everything you said.
All right, one and done. So then moving up from that, we have a huge headlining match because obviously we know Mania is taking place over the course of 2 days now. So that's 48 hours of Gronk. The WWE Universal title match that should have never happened in the first place with Bill Goldberg as the champion going against Roman Reigns. I thought this match would actually be kind of cool and interesting to watch. Have like kind of like a spear off or something like that, and maybe this be Goldberg's last match or something. But now in Total Jeopardy, Roman Reigns has totally self-quarantined himself, is not showing up to Mania, is very concerned for his health because, as we mentioned earlier, The Miz showed up to the tapings very sick, and Roman said, I'm not coming. There's no way. Obviously, we know Roman has a compromised immune system from his leukemia treatments, so he does not want to risk it. Totally understandable. The rumor is now, I have seen no spoilers for Mania, but the main rumor is Braun Strowman will be coming out on SmackDown tonight to set up kind of an angle, and he will take Roman's place. So apparently we're going to get Braun Strowman versus Goldberg for the Universal title.
Was he just going to beat the brakes off of him?
He's just going to wash those hands. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm a Roman guy now. I actually like him now, and it sucks to say that it took him getting sick for me to actually appreciate him as a performer. But he actually is a really great performer, even if you go back and watch his matches from beforehand. It's just the whole Goldberg thing, dude. I'm not a fan of Goldberg. I never was a fan of Goldberg, and maybe I'm a little bit biased for saying that. But when he came back the first time a couple of years ago, I was like, actually, this is pretty cool, and they're booking him well. And a strong run, and then he lost to Lesnar. Yada yada yada. I'm talking too much up. I'm not excited for this match anymore, as I wasn't when Goldberg won the Universal title. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
I want to see a hand washing match.
Yeah, that's how you feel. That's how we feel about this match, obviously.
20 seconds, who can wash their hands better?
Purell on a forklift match. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are you guys? I know.
He's gonna set up for a jackhammer. He's gonna fucking fall and drop him. You know? And that's fucked up because I like Goldberg. You know, but
I wish that fucking people could see the video of you saying that. You're like this. You're cocked over in your car, like you're just annoyed as fuck. Like he's gonna pull him up for the jackhammer. He's gonna fucking fall on him. Just like fucking. You're like, nah, no. I'm not excited. Obviously, Colin, you sound too enthused by this booking.
I know Matt Riddle wanted to go against him, but WWE will never give us that. So.
God, which sucks because that would have been. I feel like Riddle's the type. He's like Styles, dude. He can make anybody look good.
Yeah,
he's just that kind of.
Rather see that.
So, Matt, are you excited or no?
No, definitely not.
You went deep on that. That was some ASMR right there. No, not at all. To round out the WrestleMania card, which this would have been great to fucking see live, our boy Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the championship. I'm excited to see this. It sucks because I feel like Drew is going to go over. He's the golden boy. He's the chosen one. The prodigal son. It just sucks that I'll say it. He's
do it in a fucking empty crowd.
In an empty crowd after what he went through, getting fired and building his way up and building British indie wrestling, all that he's done to an empty crowd. Like, he's going to go over. There's no way he's not going to go over. And I'm excited to see, because obviously you don't know what's going to happen in this match, because Brock Lesnar, it's like, last year's WrestleMania when he came, I was like, if we're not going on last, we're going on first. So you always know that Brock does something special for Mania. I'm excited to see this match. Just, I wish it was in front of a crowd,
Oh, man, it'd be a cool spot is if Brock Lesnar German suplex him. But you know how, like, Drew McIntyre does the kip up?
Oh.
German suplex him, and then he kips up, and he fucking claymores him.
Oh, that'd be awesome, dude. Shit. You know what? So what kind of is sad to think about now is when he did the whole, "Oh, you guys ready for a Claymore party?" When it was like at some promo he was doing. I was so ready for us to all start a chant for Claymore party at Mania. I was like, that would have been awesome to do with the boys, but you know,
Claw more.
Oh, dude.
I'm still excited for this match, and you know, it's just whatever they're gonna do with Lesnar after. He doesn't need a title, but maybe he'll have some feuds with like some other people. He's just dominant force, you know.
I want every match to be a squash match, and WrestleMania only be a half hour.
Just get it over with.
WrestleMania is 35 minutes long, no commercials.
I want Tamina to go 5 seconds, just eliminates all 5 for the fucking Superfly at the top.
Ding, ding, ding. Next.
You know what I'll say though. You know, as we ding, ding, ding. Next. Obviously. Oh shit. What was that cough?
That's it. I think I'm dying.
That's a vape. That's a vape cough, not a COVID cough.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, that's too wet. They said COVID is very dry.
So as we start to kind of wrap it up here and everything, you know, as obviously we're a little bit biased about not having that much excitement for Mania, or at least maybe myself. I'll only speak for myself because, you know, we were supposed to go and be there. It was supposed to be this big experience for all of us. We don't know though. You never know. WWE could pull this off very well. They could come away with a home run and we just don't know it. They might have some shit under their sleeve, and that's kind of the thing that's been keeping me a little bit optimistic about it, is you just don't know what they're going to pull off. They could do something pretty elaborate and make it be like, hey, it is what it is, but we're going to give you guys an awesome show.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I hope it's entertaining at least. I need something to watch.
I'm just hoping.
That sounds selfish, but like I have no hockey, I have no MLB. At least I have wrestling, right? I have no XFL.
We're scorned.
Oh, that's right.
We're scorned at this point. That's the problem.
Yeah. So I mean, all in all, I mean, it's a weird fucking time. It's a weird fucking time because this all plays into real life. You know, Corona has broken kayfabe big time. So on that lame ass joke, I think it's time to wrap it up, boys.
All right.
Well, it was good talking to you guys. Good seeing you. Hope everybody's staying safe.
Oh, dude, I got some Bell and Viv downstairs, cranberry flavor, ready to roll tonight.
Oh man, my buddy bought me a bottle of coconut rum straight from Kauai. He just flew back.
You better disinfect that motherfucker.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna just use it to wash my hands. I'm not even gonna drink it. It's 80 proof.
Matt, what do you got planned for the night?
I guess I'll watch SmackDown, and then whatever. You know, I'll watch Netflix or something. Ozark season 3 just dropped, and
you gotta watch McMillions, bro.
Oh, you need to watch The Outsider. I mean, first you need to watch Supernatural, first of all.
Never happened.
And then
never gonna happen.
I don't understand why you would like it. That's what you're afraid of.
While I'm watching The Jinx, you watch McMillions.
I don't know why you wouldn't like Supernatural, because anytime we mention it, for some reason my mind goes back to Fastnet. We were all fucked up and you were just like, so you said earlier your mom was a Wiccan. You're like, no, we're all into that shit, dude.
Nah, it's cool here. You're all right with us.
Hey, you're all right, my guy. But so I guess we'll wrap it up here. For those who don't know, we haven't done a podcast in a while. We now have our official website. It should be working. It gave us a little bit of trouble earlier, but Matt, you said we're good now, right? Or we're still going to figure it out?
It's still giving me issues. I'll figure it out after this. Yeah. Some of the links work, some of them don't.
Yeah, by the time
it has COVID, it's okay. It'll survive.
Squarespace is giving me some issues.
My Squarespace is a dry cough. It's the weirdest thing.
But yeah, if you go on there, you have our blog post, our Twitter post, our latest podcast. We have also a new ranking system that's a little bit different than AEW's ranking system.
Yes.
So basically, just to do a quick summary, it works the same way that like hockey works. So every time you get a win, you get 2 points. So, and if you get a draw, which could be a double count out or just whatever, you get 0.5 points. So right now, just to give a quick rundown of the top 5, power rankings for WWE. You got Matt Riddle at number 1 because he got 46 points. Aleister Black at 44 points. Roman Reigns at 40.5 points. And Drew McIntyre at 40.5 points. But, yep.
What is that? That's from the start of 2020?
Yeah, start of 2020. And then on the AEW side, you have Kenny Omega with 20 points, Adam Page with 14, Moxley with 14, and Cody with 12.
Cool. You were putting it together right before we went live on this, and I was like, I'm really excited to see where it goes. So that's especially for the website. That's a really cool addition. So by the time this goes out live for everybody, you can check out the rating systems that we have going on with that Matt just explained, which I think we're all very excited for, and great job on that too, by the way, man. That's such a good idea. But you can check us out at hittingtheropes.com. Of course, Matt said we got everything up there as well. You can check us out on Twitter. We did change our handle. It is Hitting the Ropes, just Hitting the Ropes, but the O is a 0, the number 0. So I'm sure you can figure that out. We all grew up with MySpace. It was the best I could go with, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you want me to say. As far as our personals, you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll probably reactivate my Instagram tonight because I'll be drunk and bored as fuck. You can follow me at Couple of Tatoes. That's TAYTOS. Matt, where can the people follow you?
At yo_Cali, CALI.
And of course, we got the fish kill bandit himself. Colin, where can the people follow you?
I don't even remember what mine is. I think it's Project_Colin. Sounds right. It might be 2 underscores. I don't remember.
It's on our Twitter. You can find it. Just click the link if you care.
You can find us all there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you guys for listening to us ramble. We haven't done a podcast in a few months, so this is awesome to do. We'll try to make this as frequent as we can. Obviously, with life happening right now, we don't know if tomorrow the stores are going to close. We don't know if martial law is going to happen in 48 hours. We don't know if Tamina is going to be the SmackDown Women's Champion in a week. Anything can happen at this point. But we want to thank you guys for listening to us, of course, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Take care and spike your hair.